Good morning, everyone. So, yes, I'm lazy. I'm in bed, but I was going to put a film on, and then I thought, no, why not vlog instead? So, Harry Potter can be on hold for the minute. So today, a bit of a weird subject. Well, not a weird subject, I don't know why I said that, but just a random one. I'm going to talk about AIDS, because someone shared a link on Facebook that I'll get to the end of when I get to the end of this, if that makes sense. Anyway, it was about 30 years ago now that health officials reported of a rare and deadly illness that they called AIDS, and since then millions have died of it. There's about 35 million people who've lived with the disease worldwide, and like 1.5 million died in 2013 alone, and about 39 million since the actual epidemic began in the first place. So I'm sure we're all aware that it's HIV and AIDS is AIDS comes after HIV, but it's transmitted through things like unprotected sex and intravenous drug use and things like that, often associated with promiscuous gay men, drug users and sex workers and people like that. And I think through that it's got a lot of stigmatism, a lot of discrimination, and basically I'm sure, like, I worked with someone who had HIV when I worked at Woolworths, and everyone had this perception, because he was quite a camp, like openly gay person, and he said that he had HIV. So he was labelled as like the one you didn't really want to go near, which is bad, but I think because he was so over the top gay, that made things worse for him as well. But it just shows that there is a lot of prejudice and misconception about it, because people try and stay clear from it, which is really bad, because it, in its own way, it's sort of like a disease like cancer. You're still stuck with this thing now that threatens your lifespan and your health and all that sort of stuff. And there are campaigns to sort of counter this prejudice and gain more understanding for people, so it's not like the view that it's the other person's disease rather than cancer, which everyone sort of fights to sort of prevent and help those people and cure cancer and all the research and everything, whereas HIV is more sort of in the closet and people don't want to sort of come out and say that they've had it, just like other people come out that they're gay and things like that. And yeah, like, you don't really hear of celebrities or anything saying they have HIV. I think since like 1991 there's been no celebrity come out saying that they've got HIV or AIDS, and that's probably because the perception that people have of it, like, it's something to be shameful of, and I think they want to be a respectable figure and think that it may sacrifice their career if they do it or something. I mean, I understand the reasons why people dig so much into their private lives anyway, but I think it sort of removes HIV and AIDS from the spotlight. When Rock Hudson got AIDS, Elizabeth Taylor sort of brought it out of the closet in like Hollywood and made people more aware that it was like a deadly epidemic and that the medical needs were really there for that. So she really campaigned and has done for many, many years about AIDS awareness and things like that. And obviously there's other celebrities that we've known and loved that have had HIV/AIDS, one of which would be Freddie Mercury. He died at, I think it was 45, literally just days after admitting that he was HIV positive and it contracted AIDS. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm trying to cut down time. Liberace as well. Liberace was 67 when he died. It was listed as not AIDS related, but years after him dying, it came out that he was HIV positive. So you're never quite sure whether it was that or not. But all these people that have had AIDS that were honestly quite sort of ashamed and felt like it had to be hidden because of the perception of AIDS. And obviously there isn't as much money pumped into it as things like cancers, because I don't know why. It's just not seen in the same light as cancer, I don't think. And I think it's something that we really need to sort of put more into the limelight. But there is something that they have now found that could be the cure for it. It could completely eradicate that gene altogether. Do you like my do? Pretty funky, innit? Scientists have apparently used a DNA snipping enzyme called Cas9 to cut out the virus. Apparently the cell's gene repair machinery takes over, solders the loose ends together, and then it results in a virus-free cell. So that is awesome. Apparently once HIV conquers a human cell, it will stay there forever. So it inserts a deadly genome permanently into its victim's DNA, forcing them to require medical treatment for the rest of their life. But now, for the first time, researchers in Philadelphia have found a way of completely deleting HIV from human cells by snipping them out. I don't actually know this off by heart, I'm actually reading it, but it's informative. And I'm crap at remembering stuff, so there's no way I'd remember that. But I'm going to put the link down below to the website, so you can read up about it yourself. It's quite interesting. It's just, medical treatment has come a long way in the last like 10-20 years, and people can live longer and healthier and just live like a normal life like they don't even have it, like opposed to in previous years where there was like no sort of help. I suppose there was help, but no one really knew what they were doing and what they could sort of... I don't even know what I'm saying anymore! There we go. People didn't even know what to give people, how to treat people. It wasn't as sort of publicly spoken about and researched like it is nowadays. It's come a long way. Science has come a long way. People's perceptions of society and illnesses and things like that have come a long way. And it all sort of aids in helping sort of eradicate these illnesses, put money out there so we can do that, and change people's perceptions of things, really. I feel like I'm rambling right now, but like, my intentions are there. Yeah, so I'm just going to backtrack a little bit and just mention that although I did say these are the sort of people that are most associated with HIV and AIDS, there's other cases where obviously that's not so, like rapings in Africa. In New York there was a veterans hospital that may have infected up to 700 of its patients with either HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, due to reusing insulin pens instead of them being individual use for each patient. So that's obviously due to not sort of labelling the pens, not knowing what needles they use for what person, and blah blah blah. This Canadian businessman that got, I think it was 15 counts he was convicted of aggravated sexual assault due to not informing his sexual partners of his HIV status. So yeah, I'm just sort of recapping that it's not just like gay men, sex workers and drug addicts that actually are at risk of HIV. So yeah, I just wanted to do a video due to seeing the positive news that things are getting done, and there's sort of, what's the word, breakthroughs in research and what we're able to do now with the science that is available to us. It's positive, not like HIV positive, not that that's a bad thing, oh for fuck's sake. So go and check out all the charities that work with people with HIV and AIDS and that really campaign for it, such as the Elton John AIDS Foundation and other such ones. Good work, guys. Thanks for campaigning. I think I just got wet. It's good to know that people are helping those guys out there. So, good on you.